Welcome back to another Insider, the second of the month of December. And today we spoke about summer holidays. Now I'm addressing something that a lot of translators overlook a little and don't consider, but I do believe it's very important. I'm talking about setting an autoresponder for your email account when you are out of the office, and that is the case for your summer break. So let's go and talk about summer holidays and autoresponders. Why is it so important and why we should have one? Let's talk about autoresponders, and this is another topic. This is one of those things, another of those things that sometimes we see a lot of translators thinking, well, I don't need this, this is way too much, blah, blah, blah. And well, it really makes a difference. And in my view, it really sets you in a totally different level in the market, I would say. As I said, this is I created this channel to share my views, share my opinion, and try to share with my colleagues, well, my successes, my failures, so possibly they can use it for their own advantage. It does not mean that everyone is going to follow what I say, because what may work for me may not work for you, and that's fine. This is just a guideline. This is just what I believe is important. And in this case, I do think that this is extremely important because it shows professionalism. It shows that you are really serious about your career and about your business, etc., etc. I'm talking about autoresponders. For a lot of translators, they may think it's irrelevant. They may think, oh no, freelancer does not need this. They are very important. They're fundamental for a company. Not for me. Well, yeah, freelancers may not need it, or they may think they not need it, but entrepreneurs do. You must think of yourself as an entrepreneur. You must set yourself up as a company. You must set yourself up professionally. And if you want to act professionally, an autoresponder is part of that. Because you cannot be, and let's face it, even when you're not on holiday break, you cannot be on your computer, on your office 24/7 all year round. It's not possible. And if you do, you wouldn't. I would say you would end up seriously ill. It's not healthy. It's not okay, and we all need a break, even for our own productivity. If you are overworked and tired, you are not going to produce with the same quality, with the same standards, as if you have a balance in your life, and obviously if you have breaks. It is very important. Sleeping, I would say sleeping, for example, is very important, because if you are not rested, if you are not well rested, that is, obviously you're going to be tired, and a lot of things may be overlooked or fall into the cracks, and of course that will jeopardize your business, that will jeopardize the quality of your work, and you don't want that. We know that. So when you're not in the office, you need to tell your clients that you are not in the office. And I believe that setting an autoresponder is a very simple way of addressing the client and tell them, well, I am not at the office at the moment. I apologize for that inconvenience. And the client will say, okay, this person is not at the moment, and then they will make the decision if they will wait until you come back or not. So first of all, it's very important to set you up as a professional, to set you up as someone that is serious about your business, that wants to set up a benchmark, a high level of quality, a high level of service, I think. And that for me, since I started my career, service has always been one of my first priorities. I know I've got the skill, I know I've got my qualifications, service is up there. Because if I provide great service with the quality that I know I have because of my qualifications and my skills, I know that I'm doing right. So I think it's important. It's important if you have a professional outlook, if you conduct yourself professionally and ethically, also very important, I would say. I think it really makes a difference. Then acknowledge the client. One of the things, and this is totally, honestly, this is totally optional, but one of the things that I do most of the times is I set my autoresponder when I'm on a holiday break, or for example, if I'm on sick leave, if I'm not okay and I'm not working, or if I took a day off for a personal reason, whatever, we all do that. I usually set my autoresponder. And one of the things that I do, of course, I'm not going to be on top of emails every 5 minutes, because I set my autoresponder and that is doing the job of responding to the client and telling them that I'm not available for work. However, I still have a look, and if some email come from a client, I usually, as a courtesy, I still respond. I know they received autoresponder, but I still respond. I received your email. Thank you very much. I'm not in the office at the moment. And sometimes they may ask me things in regards to pricing or something like that, which obviously it's something that I can easily respond. And I can say, well, please send me the document for quoting. I'll be back on such and such day. And my pricing is such and such, depending on which service they want me to provide, etc. So I kind of acknowledge the client, and this is totally optional. For example, I would say if you go on a holiday overseas, you might not have that possibility or availability to be checking email all the time. And sometimes with time zones, by the time you answer, it would be, for example, when I went to Portugal, it would be totally irrelevant to answer that sort of email, because by the time I would send the email would most probably be 8 or 9 hours after the email was sent. So it was totally irrelevant, because they already had the autoresponder itself. So it's as I said, is optional. If I am in Australia and I tend to look at an email, if something comes up, I will still give that extra level of care, but quite frankly does not set me as more professional or above anyone else just because I do so. But it's kind of an attention. Now, another very important aspect of this, it sets up a time frame, because if you put on your autoresponder that you are not in the office at that time, but you will be back in the office on such and such date, you are setting a time frame, and your clients know, or your possible clients know, well, this person is not available for work at the moment, but on that date they will be available. And then they can make their own mind and think, okay, can I wait this time and contact them back on that occasion with the documents for quoting, or, well, I can really not wait. This is urgent. I need to contact another professional. This is what you should be doing, because if the client just sent you an email and doesn't get any response, obviously you will think, oh, this is very unprofessional. And if you are overseas or if you are somewhere else, you're not going to be, or if you are on holidays for that matter, you are not going to watch your phone constantly. I wouldn't even say it would be healthy or it would be good. So after all, you are on holidays. It's about to rest. It's not about checking your email and be doing what you would do if you were in the office. So I think this is why autoresponder is so important, because first, it gives that level of service that addresses the client. It's automatic. As soon as the email comes in, the autoresponder goes out. The client knows straight away that you are not in the office. And then you set that time frame telling the client, okay, I'm not here today, but I will be from this day on, in case it's still okay with you. So it's two very important things at the same time that an autoresponder will help you with. First of all, address the client, that level of service, and secondly, that time frame that is very important. The client then knows exactly when they can, if they want to work with you, when you would be available for that work, and then they can make their own mind if really they want to go ahead and contact you on that date, or if it's really very urgent and they need the stuff done before you come back. Of course, you might lose some clients, but you would lose them anyway. It's not a question of losing clients or getting clients. This is not what autoresponder is about, because you're not going to get more clients just because you put an autoresponder. The difference is, if you have an autoresponder, that autoresponder is sent out immediately, and immediately first addresses the client, which makes them happy. Secondly, tells them you are not available at that precise moment, but sets that time frame. From that day on, you will be available in case they are still interested. So this is what an autoresponder does and why it's important. Addresses the client, gives that level of service, tells them you are not available at that moment, but that time frame tells them when you are indeed available, so if they still want to go ahead and work with you. So I believe this is very important. I have set autoresponders since I started my career. I think this is important because it helps, and most of the times it really happens during my summer break that I get contacted sometimes right next to, after New Year, people contact me for translation, for certified translation mostly, and they say they have documents, etc., etc. They receive the autoresponder, and because I most probably would be around Sydney, I will reply back saying, oh, I got your email. As you know, I'm not currently in the office, but I'll be back at such and such. And then most of the times they wait. They wait until I come back, and then they send me the documents. And on my first day at work, I do the quotes for whoever clients have contacted me, and then most probably I would get the jobs. So I'm not saying it's guaranteed. I'm not saying that. Sometimes they may say, okay, I'm sorry, but I cannot wait. And I obviously understand that. And then I will say, okay, I do understand that. I'm sorry, I cannot help you on this occasion. I hope I can help you sometime in the future. And that's fine. And you did your job, indeed, because you showed professionalism. You showed that you were there for the client. Of course, they understand the same way they have holidays, you have too. And they understand that you are not available for work at that time. And maybe on that occasion, your time frame does not match theirs. And that's fine. But they saw, okay, this person conducted themselves really professionally. And I think that's what makes a difference. And that's all for today. I hope you like this insider this week. And I hope I could pass the message about the importance of these autoresponders and what they can actually make and what the benefit can be of setting one. I have already spoken about having your own domain and having your professional email coming from that domain. Now the autoresponder, it's that cherry on top. So it's that acknowledgement of the client, that time frame of when you would be available for work. And then you can obviously, totally optionally, as I said, complement that with a personal email of your own saying that you received the email and reinforcing the message of the autoresponder. It's we're getting to the end of the year, and of course I said that I'm going to revisit a lot of my old videos that have been taking some track and people are watching them. I believe some of the content of those videos might need a little upgrade, so I'll be revisiting those next year. And as I have been mentioning, if you have been watching any of these older videos and if you would like me to discuss any of those, please suggest in the comments below. And also, if you have any other topic that you would like me to address, something that maybe you are now coming to the profession and you have a few questions, because we all do. I know I did, everyone does. And if you have any questions, well, if I can help it, if I can answer those questions, I'll be very happy to do so. So if you really have that, please leave a comment below. I'll be very happy to address it. And of course, put a like in the video and subscribe the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new insider every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.